Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. It's so wonderful to wake up and see another day, this Worship Wednesday. To God be all the glory. Thanking Him for allowing us to open our eyes and see a day we never witnessed before. Thanking Him for our health and our strength. And thanking Him for His goodness, His mercy, His favor, and His grace upon us. Thanking Him for keeping a roof over our head. Thanking Him for the food that He's given us for the nourishment of our bodies. Thanking God for every financial blessing He has bestowed upon us. Just giving God thanks for His everything. We can't do nothing without Him in this world. And just to see how some of the minds today are, I just thank God that He kept me in my right mind. And I'm just grateful. I don't want to be nothing like some of these people I see in the world today without Jesus. The sickness that's in their mind, the sickness that's in their heart, and just how they just so hopeless and so caught up on the things of this world. And I'm just so glad that God just took my mind away from this world and put my mind on nothing but Him. Just walking in the light, the beautiful light, and it just brings me joy. So before I get started in this conversation that we're going to talk about today, let's go into our Father's prayer together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation, but Lord, deliver us from evil. For thou, you are the kingdom, you are also the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen, amen, amen. I don't know if I had 1,000 tongues, I could thank God enough for all He has given unto me. So yesterday I took a walk with you and we talked about some leadership and, people doing their job and what they're called to do or they signed up to do for the community and for the people that they do serve in their district. And we could see that there's some people that are sitting inside the White House or who's sitting there in Congress today, that these people are not chosen by God. They was put there, appointed for a specific reason to try to, you know, bully the people or force the people into things that are ungodly and cause some people to even be um cause some people even their careers if they was to speak their mind on how they feel about the Democrat Party, because some people are really there to do what's right for the people, and then you got those who sit there who were just appointed and they're not there for the right reasons. They just there to block the ones that should be there. Listen to what I'm saying. These people are put in those seats to block the voices of those who are there to really want to make a difference. Those who really want to do the right thing for the community or the district that they serve. And not only just for that, they just want to do the right thing for the American people. Because we know there's not everybody in America who came here born with wealth and they didn't come with a silver spoon in their mouth. Some of them are just those who struggled and they're grateful and they want to show how thankful they are by giving back. And they just want to do the right thing, okay, for the American people. Not because you black, not because you white, not because you Latino, not because you're Muslim, not because you are Asian or you are from India or Africa, wherever. You just want to give back and do the right thing for the American people in this one big family of a melting pot. And you just could see them as yourself because you once in your lifetime had to deal with being raised on some of the government funding that was able to help your family, your mother, your brother, or whomever. And you just want to come back and just say thank you by doing what is right in the sight of God and what is right. And not only are you giving back to man, but you're giving back to God because that's who you serve. You don't serve man. So I just said it's just time now that we, the people, who's watching faces and listening to voices during the season of the primary and for the elections for who we want to put back in those seats, who we want to be over whatever district, who's going to be our leaders, and that's going to set the example for the next leaders coming up for the next generation, and how leadership should lead, how leadership should talk to their subordinates, or how they supposed to treat, even when their boss is not the most kindest boss, how they still supposed to show obedience and respect and just do what's right in the sight of God. We've been listening to the wrong voices. We've been watching too many of the wrong people, how they moving. And we've been putting too much of our time and our attention and our focus on these individuals. But it's time now that we silence those voices, move them out of the way. Don't even want to even do anything as far as commentary on them. We see them for who they are. We know they're not there to do the right thing. We know they don't care. And what they're just doing is trying to silence the voice of those who do care and who are trying and who do want to do the right thing. That's all they doing. They don't care about some of the things of the tragedies and the crimes and everything that's going on in the communities that they live in. I mean that they supposed to be servicing. They don't care about the funding that for the people for to bring into the communities for that can help with job programs, training job program, educational programs, better health care programs, or whatever they're supposed to do to be the voice for the people. It's time now we silence the voices of the Roland Martins, silence the voices of the Jeffrey Hakeems, silence the voices of the Jasmine Crockett's, silence the voices of the AOCs, silence these voices. How do we silence them? Stop putting them on your platform. Stop listening to whatever they have to say because whatever they have to say now doesn't really matter because they showed us who they are. And when people show you who they are, believe them. Okay, stop putting your time and your attention on content about them, commentary about them, having them on your platform, reporting every little detail about everything they doing. We see them for who they are. Now it's time to put the voices that need to be heard in the front line. We need to listen to the John Fittermans. We need to listen to the Karen Wissets, and we need to listen to the Latifah Simone. Sorry, y'all. My alarm is going off. These are the people that need to be heard for to represent for those people in their district. We don't need to hear no more about like I said, the Ilhan Omars. They need to just go silent. We see them for who they are. They just there for distraction and also to bring chaos, division, confusion, you name it. Not anything that is good. I have to, every time somebody reports something on them, guess what I do? Flick, 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 flick. If I don't see handcuffs, I'm just like flick, 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 flick. I don't even care. I don't care what they have to say. I heard enough. Okay? I heard enough about those people, the AOCs, the Hakeem Jeffries, the Roland Martins, the who else? The Roland Martins, the AOC, even some of these pastors like Jamal Bryant and all these other racist pastors that get up on their pulpit and call President Trump a racist and call him names. And these are men that's supposed to be men walking in God, teaching Jesus, talking about Jesus. I learned a long time ago, and I know it's so hard for sometimes for us to do this. You ain't got nothing nice to say about some people, just don't say nothing at all. Sometimes silence is golden. And it's just time now we stop feeding the beast. We stop putting too much of our time, energy, our focus on these people like the ALCs, like the Hakeem Jeffries, like the Roland Martins, like the all of those that just cause nothing but division, confusion, and chaos, and in our in our country, in this nation. Those who don't sit and say anything about the president, that they everything they say is negative, and trying to turn you against your leader, the president of the United States, who got to carry so much of this nation on his back, and the things he had inherited from from the last administration that was in leadership over this over the people here in the United States of America. President Trump's job is just to make sure that he's our leader, and whatever needs to be done for the betterment of the whole United States of America, because he's just not only just dealing with just some, but he's dealing with all of it. Okay? These are why these people are placed in leadership, to take some of the weight away from him, to take away some of the things he has to carry. They're supposed to make sure these local governments and they local part of our office here in government, those who are dealing as the councilmen, those who dealing as the assemblyman or woman, those who dealing with the comp controllers of the state comp controllers, or those people that are sitting in governors, like, the governor of that state, who's dealing with some of the problems that got to take on in that state, with some of the federal funding, some of the money that needs to be poured out to the communities to help these families, to help the community, to help the children in the educational programs, even with our medical programs and everything else like that. See, these people work for Satan. What we see now, those people work for Satan. They don't work for Jesus. They serve Satan. And it's time now we put Satan in the back burner. And we start putting those who really want to work and do the right thing to service the people be heard. Be heard. And like I said, we got to stop feeding the beast. The more you doing commentary on them, the more you giving them your energy, your time, and just exhausting yourself. Because these people already showed to us who they are, and we got to believe it for what it is. We already know. They time is about time we just be done with them and allow to just hear the voices of those who want to do what is right for their district, and who wants to do what is right for the people, regardless of the race, creed, nationality, religion, and all what our stands for under our Constitution. These are the people we need to start listening to. I just came across. I never hear too much about Latifah Simone. I heard her speak on one time before, in the Congress, and she was trying to get some service and everything done for her district that she served in the state of California, I believe. And she told her story about how she came up with, you know, disadvantages or whatever, but still in all how these programs were able to help her, how she's taking care of a family, raising a family today, and how it's been helpful to her to take care of her family as well. Programs that she used to help take care of her and her family. And she shared some things about her life or whatever like that. And I think she's a great person because she's not there with all the noise. You know what I'm saying? And she gets drowned out. I never really hear her speak much. Then I hear about this young lady, Karen Wissat, who served in the District of Michigan, somewhere in Michigan, okay, state representative. And she shared that there's a lot of she holds a lot of Christian values. And there's just some things she just could not do. So she had to dismiss herself and leave because she just didn't want to be part of anything that was going to harm her or, interrupt her Christian values. And John Fetterman, he wants to do the right thing. Just totally just do the right thing as the senator. And I just think it's time now that we get rid of the Chuck Schumers. Okay? He doesn't want to really service the people. He don't want to do what's right. He wants to play his game and not doing what's right. He did what's right for Obama. He did what's right for Biden. He did right for all the years he's been sitting as senator for these many years. But now that Trump is now the president of the United States, now he don't want to do what's right. We can't be having that. You know what I'm saying? When funds need to be done, things need to be done to get these bad criminals out of our country and away from people's communities in the states, and we need ICE funding or whatever, or we need money for TSA workers so that things won't come into the United States that will harm people in the United States. These people need their jobs. These people need to eat. These people need to take care of their families. And these everyday people. But here you are, because you don't like a particular leader, so you're going to hold back the funding for the help secure our nation, like having these workers employed and having people have jobs that will be available to them so they can feed their families and take care of their responsibilities. You can't do nothing without money and without bread, and you can't live on bread alone. And there's just some things we just shouldn't do. Okay, regardless of how we don't like a person, there's just some things we got to think of other than just being in our feelings and just about ourselves. And I think I spoke about that yesterday when I took a walk with y'all. Yesterday when I had the conversation. But anyway, we're going to find out some things about Latifah Simone, John Fitterman, and Karen Wissat. They Democrats, but they don't agree with all was being offered for them to actually things they would have to do on this party, some things they just couldn't check the box on. This is Karen Wissant's story. If you look her up and you go find out and read up about her, you will understand where she's coming from. I'm not saying everybody has to like President Trump. There's just going to be some personality differences, personality conflict, whatever. But he is the president of the United States. And we have to be obedient to God. Point blank, period. If you didn't do it to the last presidents that you served under, you shouldn't do it to him. There's a lot of things that I seen about Biden I didn't like, but I didn't make any complaints about it. I just let it go the way it went down. And I let those who was in Congress or whoever handle the problems they needed to handle. Me as a citizen of the United States of America, I didn't vote for Biden. I didn't at all. The last election they had when he got in office, I didn't vote for Trump. To be honest with you, I didn't vote for neither one of them. during that election. I didn't even vote for Trump the first time, but I never complained about him. I never had anything bad to say about him. I didn't feel it was necessary for me to do that. I think that election in 2016, I think I was heading towards Hillary Clinton because maybe because I liked her husband and I felt, but I didn't vote for Trump. And then I didn't vote for Trump in 2020 election. I believe I voted for in that election. I don't think I voted at all. I think I took the couch in 2020. Because I was really going through that season with R. Kelly during that season. I wasn't paying that much time, that much attention to politics. But when it came to 2024 election and after what happened in 2020, when that election was stolen from Trump and I felt it was stolen from Trump, I felt God led my heart to him as the president of the United States. Okay? I watched both. I watched they both of the national conferences when they went through the debates, and I saw how Biden got sick, and nobody was informed about his illness. And we seen that something was wrong with Biden, but I was just like, we knew that his mind was slipping, and he wasn't really saying things that sound right. And we saw how he was tumbling and falling and everything, and how they treated the president of the United States at that time. I said, there's no way there's something ain't right about these Democrats to actually allow Biden to go up there and to make and put him on the spotlight like that. It just was very sad to look at. And there was no way I was going to put a Democrat over be my choice for the for that election for to put them in any seat as any leader of this nation. And then when I just started seeing things, I said something ain't right about this because I never really paid attention that much to politics. But something just told me. I watched Trump's rallies and his campaign, and I watched how he was doing things in decency and in order. And I seen how the people that was working on his campaign was helping him, supporting him. And he just really had that American spirit. He just brought so much joy, so much happiness, hope and everything to the people. And I see why he won. He won fair and square because Trump was trolling. He had us laughing. He just had a lot of excitement going on. Even though people were trying to harm him during that time, but he stood up and he fought and he fought and he fought. And Trump was an enjoyment to watch. He just kept us entertained. You didn't have not one dull moment with Trump. He had the American people excited. And you just could feel that real American spirit. It just felt like America was coming alive. And that's when I said, you know what? He's got to be the one. So when I said God led my heart to him, that's what happened. There's some people that probably got a little, now people don't got falling off, but we got to bring back that joy. Oh, yeah, y'all, I got my T-shirt ready. My shirt to wear my American 250 year celebration for May 17th. And also, I was inside one of the Walgreens out here. They selling the flags, the 250-year American flag. They got the hats. They got the stuff going on in the state that I'm in. They got so much things to commemorate this year of 250th anniversary. I was surprised. I even went on Amazon. I ordered my family, me, my sister, my nephew, my brother-in-law. We all got our T-shirts ready for the celebrate 250-year anniversary of America. In our patriotic spirit, we ready for the 4th of July. We ready to give all of that We ready to celebrate Flag Day. See, President Trump brought all of that back to the American people. We learning more about American history. Last night we was talking about President Lincoln. We was talking about our presidents. A lot of things we like, wow, we don't even talk about that no more. So it was a lot of exciting things that just came to our spirits, and we just enjoying and just excited about celebrating the American history. We just ready to just be about American patriotism. And you'd be surprised how many people are getting ready for their t-shirts, their flags. Them flags were selling out like crazy. I even got my husband a t-shirt and everything. We just gonna be ready for America on May 17th. And this season we are also celebrating Appreciation Teachers, and we are also celebrating Mother's Day this weekend. So it's a lot going on in May. That May spirit, thank you, Jesus, just keeping us alive. But back to what I was saying about it's time to just silence these people. Let's not get not. I'm not talking about Simone. I'm not talking about Fetterman, and I'm not talking about West. These are the people, the faces, the voices that we need to see more of in America, that should sit down and represent for the party that they serve and for the people that they supposed to represent and for their district or whatever. Because I don't think the good should suffer because of the bad. I think it's time to now push the bad to the back burner and let the good be seen and heard. We already know Elon Omar, she's done. She was supposed to have a deadline of yesterday to have these documents to prove all this money about the $9.1 billion that she stole out of Minnesota. It's time to just put her in jail, put her in some handcuffs, and just carry her away. Enough is enough with Ilhan Omar. Enough is enough with the AOCs. Enough is enough with all of those who have just been in there making noise, causing problems, bringing chaos. Because too many people out there being harmed, and too many people out there are in need of some of the funding to help them with for their education, for health care, and housing, or whatever needs to be done for the everyday people. So it's time to put the noise to the back and let these voices be heard. Don't do nothing about them. Don't let them sit on your platform. Don't do no commentary about them. Just let the voices of the good be heard, and let the evil, wicked, and workers of iniquity all be pushed to the back burner. I say this because I said, hey, I don't live in none of their districts. But the people that do live in their districts that are suffering and do need people to speak for them and do it in decency and order, I'm putting their face out here. These are the people for your primary elections or whatever, those people you need to vote in. These are the voices that need to be heard. These are the voices that need to be heard. And I'm pretty sure there's some more out there. I haven't seen all of them, but I'm sure there's some that's truly willing to do what is right for the district that they serve and for the people. So let's read some things here that I wrote, and I left it here on the wall. I wrote, let me put on my glasses because I can't see without them. I can't read without them. We don't want to silence all the good people. Okay. I said, in this political climate, I've been watching both parties closely. And one thing I notice is there are still voices inside the Democrat Party that seem like they genuinely want to do right by their district and the people, not just perform for cameras or social media attention. People like John Fitterman, Latifah Simone, and even Karen Wesset stand out to me because they appear willing to think independently instead of blindly following political pressure or outrage culture. Every time I hear Latifah Simone speak, she sounds composed, thoughtful, and focused on real issues affecting everyday people. John Fitterman has also shown moments where he was willing to separate himself from the loudest voices in his own party and speak from his own convictions. Excuse me. And Karen Westsett openly spoke about how some directions within her party no longer align with her faith and personal values, even knowing she would face criticism for saying it publicly. That is what leadership is supposed to look like, not always agreeing with everybody, but having enough courage to stand on principle and speak honestly even when it is unpopular. Too many politicians today act more focused on staying in the spotlight, creating viral moments, and feeding outrage instead of solving problems for the people they represent. The American people exhausted from nonstop division, political theater, and attention seeking behavior. People want safer communities, stronger schools, affordable living job opportunities, and leaders who can actually govern instead of constantly performing. But calmer and more reasonable voices often get drowned out by the loudest personalities dominating television panels, headlines, and social media every day. It is sad when people inside their own party feel silenced, pushed aside, or pressured simply because they are not in complete agreement with the loudest voices in the room. That should concern everybody, no matter what side of politics they lean toward. A healthy country needs room for independent thinking, maturity, respect, and honest disagreement without destroying people for it. Who appear grounded, solution driven, and focus on serving the people instead of feeding nonstop conflict. Let the mature voices be heard. Let the reasonable voices shine. And stop rewarding the individuals who keep pushing division, confusion, and chaos for attention. And these, and I said it's a new era of leadership of Democrats, real leaders, real solutions, and real results. It's time to elevate leaders who put people first and not the politics. That's Latifah Simone, John Fitterman, and Karen Whitsett. Real leaders build, they don't divide. And that's what I wanted to share with you this morning about what they do for Christ. Even though I'm not saying everybody's a Christian here, but I'm just saying what you do right in your heart is for Christ. You don't have to actually wear the big cross around your neck and the clothe yourself in clothing to dress like you're a religious person or whatever. It's just what you do from your heart that is right, is what you do for Christ. When you do the right thing, you see things fairly, you see that you're not working to do this for yourself, and you know it's the people that you represent, and you want to do what's right for the people and not just for you, but for those people who can't speak for themselves. You representing for them. So that's when I say what you do for Christ is what lasts. And I truly believe Christ is who pointed me to these people from the Democrat Party, because we can't put a blanket on everybody. We got to separate the good from the wicked ones. And it's on both sides of the aisle. You got some good Republicans and you got some wicked Republicans. You got some Republicans that want to just connect themselves or attach themselves just for their influence, and don't really have the right heart to do the right thing and lead right for everybody. And then you got those who are Democrats who do want to do the right thing, who do want to do things with decency and with order, and do want to respect authority. They didn't do it when Biden was president. They didn't do it when Obama was president. But now they want to be difficult when Trump become president, and that's wrong, because whoever served in office as your leader, as your president of the United States, you should not be spending your time talking wicked, saying wicked things about your president, or saying evil things and bringing division and chaos or whatever about the president of the United States. Your job is to service that community and get what needs to be done in that community for the people. not to bad mouth and bad talk the President of the United States. It's like you trying to destroy this country from within when you talking like that about the President of the United States. Like, look at things like this that's going on. And people need to understand that. You're not supposed to, regardless to your feelings, your personal feelings with President Trump, he should not be every day, he shouldn't even be your focus. Like things that happen like this. What happened to this young lady named Takara Thompson? This is an illegal immigrant. He wasn't even supposed to be in the United States of America, and he was stopped. And this happened in Maryland in 2025. This man right here destroyed this young lady's whole life and future. A 19-year-old intern student worker. And let's read about her story here. I mean, I saw the documentary yesterday. When I watched it, tears were just streaming down my eyes. It was just her service and everything. They did her service. They showed clips of her service and everything that her family gave her, the community gave her and everything. And you just couldn't help but cry. You just couldn't help but cry. I said, these are the things taking place. And it's not just only her. It's things like this that's taking place in just about every state of the United States of America. And we got these, we so listening to these Democrats, and we so caught up in all of this nonsense that they doing, the chaos. They did nothing on the lives of so many people that they lost in their cities over illegal criminals. Like things that happened with that woman who lady was, you know, butchered by that illegal criminal. You know, that woman that came out the store when the man was destroying the vehicle, and she came to see what was going on and said something. He came with the machete, and he started taking the machete and everything, or whatever, the hammer he had, and he started hitting her with the hammer and hammered her to death. You don't hear the Democrats, people like Ilhan Omar, people like Chuck Schumer. You don't hear them talk about none of these people, Americans, who've been killed tragically in America. You don't hear them talk about these problems that's going on in everybody's city, state, and from the sanctuary cities. And these criminals got to get out of the United States of America to allow ICE in to take these people out to come and do their job so they can bring us safety and protect the lives of American people. That's why we got to stop listening to them. We got to drown them out, because these are the things that's going on that President Trump, this is not President Trump's job. Yes, he calls ICE, but it's actually, it comes from the top office of the president, and you ignoring the president executive orders. You blocking ICE. This is how sick these people have become just to stay in power. They don't even care about the lives of people, family, and people that sit around and support them. These are the things you need to know. This is dangerous. But anyway, it says, watching a documentary about a 19-year-old Dakara Thompson truly broke my heart. A young woman with her whole future ahead of her. Focused, inspiring, respectful, trying to build a better life for herself. And her life was taken in such a tragic and senseless way. She was not out causing trouble, not living reckless, not harming anyone. She deserved the opportunity to grow, succeed, and fulfill her purpose here on earth. What makes stories like this even harder to process is knowing so many families across America are grieving similar tragedies every single day. Parents losing daughters, communities losing promising young women, lives forever changed because dangerous criminals were allowed into communities where innocent citizens should feel safe. This is why broader security and public safety matter to many Americans. People can debate politics all day long, but at the center of these stories are real human beings and devastated families. Leadership is supposed to protect the people first. Citizens want safe neighborhoods, safe schools, safe campuses, and accountability from the leaders elected to govern cities, countries, and states. No family should have to bury their child because warning signs were ignored or because politics became more important than public safety. It should never be about hatred or division. It should be about preventing the next tragedy before another mother has to cry over her child. My prayers go out to Takara Thompson's family and every family carrying this kind of pain. May God comfort them and strengthen them through unimaginable grief. Dakara Thompson, how this man who came, this illegal immigrant, she was coming from, I believe, a event, and it was kind of late, but she was in communication with her dad, letting her know where she was. They kept her on, she was 19. They tracked her phone. They made sure she was safe. Dad said, okay, I just wanted to make sure you okay. He was communicating with her. He says, but I'm about to go to bed, just to let her know. She stayed in communication. Then all of a sudden that evening, she went to get some stop to get some gas or whatever. And something maybe went wrong, or maybe she was trying to get some help or whatever like that evening. And this man got her into his vehicle, a Delani, some kind of vehicle he had, which he wasn't even registered to that vehicle. It was his vehicle, but it was a cousin of his that registered the vehicle in their name. And he lived in this house like across the street, whatever. And it was a house where mostly everybody in that house were there undocumented. They weren't legal citizens, all sharing in the same space over, time or whatever, these people that came from Guatemala. And the cousin was there, stayed with a cousin or something like that, family member, whatever. And he brought this woman into their place and he sexually assaulted her. And after he sexually assaulted her, he tried to get rid of her remains or get rid of her, and he dumped her somewhere where her body was found and discovered, and her vehicle was found and discovered because somebody had the camera on where her vehicle was last found. And because of her phone being able to track that area, that's where they found her vehicle. And it's just when you hear the details of the story, it just breaks your heart. Her family did a news conference and everything. People asked the most stupidest, wickedest questions about the car or how she knew him. Had she ever been around this man before? No. She was an intern in some kind of program. She was an intern in. And she was a hard worker. She had a promising future and everything. And this man took her life away. This dangerous criminal. And he was stopped before because he had a DUI. Right then and there, they could have just had him, held him, and deported him because he wasn't supposed to be in the United States whatsoever. But because of the people that are in leadership in these communities or these districts or wherever they serve, they protect these criminals. They let them right back out, the judges and everything else like that, knowing they're not supposed to be here as a citizen. They're not a citizen in the United States and they're not supposed to even be in the country, period. We got to get these people out of office, got to get these people out of power because the only thing they care about is sitting there for power and greed. They don't care about the life of the people, of the communities they're supposed to serve. Like this can just happen to anybody, even to some of them, whether they know it or not. You know, even to some of them, whether they know it or not. We hear about crime each and every day taking place in our cities and in our districts, in our counties, or wherever. We have to crack down on crime. We have to bring harsher sentencing and put better judges in those seats in our courthouses. We have to put better legislators out here that's going to fight with the law to make things harsher and really punish these criminals, not giving them chance after chance after chance so that they can go out and harm other people or even let them out. This man right here should never have still been in the United States. That this could have been avoided. And these are the things your president is trying to do. But he's only a man, and he's just only the president. He gives you the executive order. He tell you what to do, whatever. But people ignore it because, oh, I don't like Trump. So they're gonna make other people suffer because they don't like Trump. They're gonna let somebody else bury their child because they don't like Trump. These people are sick, and they need to be voted out, and only you can do it to get people like these Elon Omars, these AOCs, these Hakeem Jeffries, these Senators Chuck Schumer, these who else? Who else is we feel these big loudmouth, disrespectful, wretched people like Jasmine Crockett, these people like all the voices in the you hearing, even pastors like Jamal Bryant, y'all need to get out of pulpits. Any pastor that sit up there and preaching nothing but racial rhetoric all the time, calling black people victims all the time, making black people always feel victims, like they the victim all the time, need to be gone. We need to silence these voices and need to let the people that truly care about the American people and cares about your safety and protecting you need to be heard. Get rid of these people. Stop giving these people a platform. Stop giving commentary about them. Just let them just go to hell. Go to hell. They don't want to do what's right for the American people. They need to go to hell. And that's the way I feel. And let here. This is stuff that we, the people, demand safety, demand leadership. I did this graphic where it says, protect our kids, not criminals. Tired of crime, tired of fear. Enough is enough. Our children, our communities, our future matters. Here are the problems we need done, taken care of in our communities. The people, we the people. We got all different people from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, all different religion backgrounds, whatever. Muslims, conservative Muslims, people that really want to do the right thing as Muslims, people that really want to do the right thing as Asians, people that want to do the right thing as Latinos, people that want to do the right thing as Black, people that want to do the right thing as white, people that want to do the right thing as whatever nationality, creed, culture, whatever you come from. You want to live in a better world. You want to live in a world that is safe. You want to raise children in a world that is safe. You want to get these kind of people out of power. Because Satan is truly busy with that Democrat Party. And I'm not saying the Republicans are all that perfect either, but I'm just saying right now, it seems like the Democrats has been doing way too much of not wanting to do the right thing. Okay, we got to put better leaders in leadership. And these are the things people are fed up with in America. We the people. These are we the people. Okay, this is their voice. This is who you're supposed to serve. We the people. Demand safety, demand leadership. I said people are tired of crime in their city, state, and country. Parents are tired of being afraid that their children are being pulled into protests without their approval. Families are tired of gun violence in schools, universities, and communities. We need better leadership that knows how to govern, protect, and serve the people. Any governor, mayor, council person, or assembly person refuse to cooperate with the president's executive order to allow ICE to remove illegal criminals from our communities is not listening to the people's voice or respecting their vote. They vote. Public safety should never be about politics. It should be about protecting families, children, schools, neighborhoods, and law-abiding citizens. When leaders ignore crime, they ignore the people. And these are we, the people. Latinos, Asians, Muslim, conservative, men, women, everyday people. Just because they Muslim doesn't mean every Muslim voted for Mandani. Some want to be able to have safety, protection. They want to raise their kids in a good world, a better world. They don't want to raise their kids. They could have stayed in their own country if they wanted all that violence and all that praying out on the street and whatever like that. We The people of the United States of America came to live in a better world, a safe world, to raise families, to build our lives in love and in harmony. That's why we have a system here that the people vote who they want to see. Not people vote themselves in. No, the people choose who they want as leaderships. And I doubt if anybody put these AOCs, these Jasmine Crockett's, these other people in charge of over them to do the things they supposed to service the community that they serve to do. They put themselves there. Or they were just picked out as some kind of, like, oh, I like the way she could do it because she got that kind of, regardless whether they do work for you or not, guess what? They still getting paid. And that's why you got to get them out of them seats. It's up to the people. When you go vote them out, don't listen to them. Don't give them a platform to speak on. Just get them out of the way. And let those who do need to be heard be heard. Those who really work they need to do to help the people, let those people be heard. Just drown them out. We heard enough of them for the last almost 2 years. We heard enough of Jasmine Crockett. We heard enough of AOC. We heard enough of Ilhan Omar. We heard enough of Zoran Mondani. We heard enough of whatever other voices you hear out there that just ain't sounding right. And all they talking about is Trump this and Trump that. Instead of talking about what they need to do to help the people. I don't want to hear no more racial rhetoric. I don't want to hear no black power this, no black power that. I just want to hear what are you going to do to help the people. And that means the American people. It means whether you Asian, whether you black, whether you white, whether you rich, poor, whether you Muslim, whether you this, that, and the other, because that's what we supposed to do in America. So with that being said, everybody, I'll come back with you all later. I just had to get out early and do this. I have to get my day going up for prayer. So let's have our Father's prayer. I did our Father's prayer already. But this is Worship Wednesday. So let's keep that in our thoughts and let's keep that in our prayers that we want to hear more from those who want to do what's right for the people. Not those who just want to do right for themselves, but those who want to work for the American people. With that being said, God bless you. I love you. Don't forget to hit that like button. If this is your first time coming to the Casey McDaniel That Speak channel, welcome to my channel. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so when I come on, you get the notification.